Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today's topic is going to be previewing the Cincinnati Bengals versus the New York Jets Week 13 matchup. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can also subscribe if you're new to the channel and want some more Jets content. So now that we got that out of the way, let's jump right into today's video and previewing this matchup between the 0-11 Cincinnati Bengals and the 4-7 Jets. Obviously, one team is looking like they're going to have the number one overall pick and draft a quarterback, while the other is playing their way out of a top 5 pick, but playoffs is going to be extremely tough because it looks like the Jets are going to have to run the table. Not so sure if they could do that. Probably a video for another day, but nonetheless, it is a 4-7 Jets team against the 0-11 Cincinnati Bengals team. What's different is Andy Dalton is starting this game after they benched him. He has played 8 games this year, so he missed 3? Yes. So he missed 3 games so far, and in those 8 games, Dalton has 9 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he has a 79 quarterback rating. Not the best, but it shouldn't matter. He is a very mediocre quarterback. Is that fair to say? He's below average. I would say he's below league average. If average is 16, so he's probably in the low 20s, high 20s of a starting quarterback in the NFL if you're going through and ranking them. But it's an okay to bad quarterback on a bad team. It shouldn't matter if it was Andy Dalton starting or whoever. Your opinion should remain the same. You should be confident going into this game. I wanted to talk about the Mixon and Bernard 1-2 punch. For a long time, that's what the Bengals offense ran through. Those two guys, A.J. Green on the outside, Tyler Eifert. It was a pretty solid offense. It's what got Jay Gruden hired as the Redskins head coach. But it's been pretty bad this year, and to me, those two guys haven't been effective at all. Mixon's averaging 3.7 yards per carry. Bernard only 3.1, which should lean over towards the Jets' favor, who are pretty dominant in stopping the run. They shut down Saquon Barkley. They shut down Josh Jacobs last week. They should be able to shut down this running back duo again in Week 13. Looking at the DVOA numbers now, we'll start with the Bengals, then go over to the Jets so we can transition and talk about the Jets a little bit more. But for the Bengals, overall, they are 31st in DVOA. Offensively, they are also 31st. Defense slightly better at 30, but overall, this is a bad football team. There is no denying that. It looks like they are on a clear path to the number one overall pick and Joe Burrow, and the Jets should be able to take advantage of this. And if you look at the Jets' DVOA numbers, it's improved, at least dramatically on one side of the ball. So overall, they are 26th. They are 30th in terms of offense. But defensive DVOA, if you remember last week, they were 11th. They jumped up to 5th. They are a top 5 defense in terms of DVOA, and their defense has really been thriving ever since the additions. They were on the team, but the realization that Arthur Mollett and Blesson Austin are your 2 best options for cornerback. So what does this all mean? The Jets' passing offense should thrive again for the 3rd week in a row. Sam Darnold looked good against Washington. He looked really good against Oakland. And he should look really good, even though it's a road game, in Cincinnati in probably not the best weather conditions. But it should be enough for him to have himself a good game because that defense of the Bengals is one of the worst in all the NFL. And he should be able to put up big numbers again. And what I'm looking for is for him not to turn the ball over. I'm going to get to my exact predictions for Sam a little bit later, like I normally do in these videos. But nonetheless, the passing attack should look good. Robbie Anderson has taken a step forward. Crowder's been consistent. Ryan Griffin's been really good. So I think those 3 guys should all expect to have big games. And Le'Veon Bell should be more involved like he was last week as a wide receiver and also running the ball. Darryl Roberts is expected to come back and play this week, but don't expect him to get much playing time over Blesson Austin or Arthur Mollett, who has been really good. They both have been really good as cornerbacks for the Jets. Honestly, there's no reason to have him above cornerback 4. That's where I expect him to be. Poole's going to be in the slot. Those other 2 guys are going to be starting on the outside, and Darryl Roberts should be the 4th corner. A very high-paid 4th corner, but a 4th corner nonetheless. So for my Sam predictions, I'm going to say he goes 21 of 32, 305 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and no turnovers. I think, again, he has back-to-back weeks of over 300 yards passing. I think he has a multi-touchdown game. I'm going to go with 3. I'll say 1-2 Anderson, 1-2 Crowder, and 1-2 Griffin. No turnovers. Another important thing Sam Darnold has to cut back on is the turnovers. He was able to do that last week against Oakland. And I'm hoping he can do that again this week. That would be a big step in his development as he's continued to look good the last 3 weeks or so. I want that to continue against Cincinnati, and there's no reason that it shouldn't. Final score, my final score prediction, I would be crazy not to pick the Jets scoring 34 points. They've done it 3 weeks in a row, so until they prove that wrong, I'm going to pick it again. I'm going to say with the Jets win 34-13, a pretty dominant performance again. Listen, Cincinnati is not a team that is trying to win football games. They want the number 1 overall pick. There's no reason for the New York Jets to lose this game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give me your score predictions, what you think is going to happen, or you can get at me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll talk to you next time.